10 reasons why you should have an annuity. I'm not going to talk about the pros and the cons. There's a lot of different pros. There's a lot of different cons as well. See some of my other videos. But I want to talk about the 10 main reasons why a lot of people look into annuities since they've evolved. Back in the day, they were a very different tool. Now it's something completely different where you could utilize it in multiple ways. But top 10 reasons I always say is, number one, you have guaranteed lifetime income. Meaning, you have $400,000 in your annuity. You elect to have that guaranteed lifetime income. They're going to give you a certain percentage. If it's, 3%, 3.5%, 4%, depending on the company and what you're doing, you could get a lifetime income. And the reason why this is powerful, because you want to use annuities as supplemental income. They're not designed to be your sole retirement source. So meaning you have $2,000 from an annuity, $1,500 from Social Security, you got $1,100 from a 401k. All these things you're putting together. So that's where it's great, because you could have a guaranteed lifetime. You live 65, 75, 85, 95 years. You have that guaranteed lifetime income. Number two is longevity protection. They insure you, okay? Annuities insure you that you don't outlive your money. Why is this important? Because they say right now, the number one fear for those in retirement is not death, it's outliving their money. So you want to make sure you have a way to ensure you're not outliving your money. Number three, you have tax-deferred growth, meaning your money grows without being taxed, okay? Now, if you have fixed index annuities and some other kind of annuity strategies, guess what? All that money gets to accumulate tax-free. You're not paying anything on that growth. Now, the principal, depending on how you put the money in, it could be qualified or non-qualified, meaning it's either qualified to be taxed or non-qualified to be taxed. So you need to know where your money is coming in, how it's going to have taxation, but you get tax-deferred growth, tax advantage growth, where your gains in certain annuities, you're not worried about anything. Number four, you have flexible payout options. So you could choose how and when you get paid. If you want to have that lifetime income, like I said earlier, you want to have a lump sum for a set period, you need to turn it on and off. You want to have inflation adjustments. So look, every year you're going to increase it a certain amount to keep up with inflation. You have flexible options. That's huge. Number five is the death benefit. This is huge. When annuities came out, it was either or. You could either elect the lump sum, you got $400,000, take the whole $400,000. Or if you had lifetime income, you forfeited that lump sum. So if you had $3,000 and you got that 3 months in a row, that's $9,000, then you passed away, the rest of that $400K, beneficiaries don't get anything. Now you actually do have it, so you get the original investment to you can pass on to your heirs. That's huge. Now, number six is you have a shield against market volatility, because annuities have that floor. If you have index annuity, fixed index annuity, you have a floor. Generally speaking, zero is your hero. Market goes up, your money goes up to a certain percentage. But when the market goes down, you stay locked in. Zero is your hero. 2008, when that hit, people lost almost 40%. You're locked in. 2020 was a bad year. You're locked in. That's huge. The seventh reason I say is a boost to your Social Security. Like I said earlier, they're made to be supplemental income. So most people just have a social, or they're expecting a social for retirement. This could be another way to have another source of income. So it's going to give you a huge boost. That's huge. Number 8 is a financial peace of mind, folks. It's huge to know that you have not all your money. I never encourage any of my clients. I've been licensed for a decade. I don't encourage to put all your money into annuities or all your money into a certain strategy. You have a financial peace of mind knowing you have a certain allocation in this annuity where you're not losing money. It's great to know, because a huge thing I always talk about is the retirement red zone. 5 years before retirement, 5 years after retirement, people have their money in volatile accounts. So you want to have that peace of mind so you know, hey, I have a certain amount of income over here. I'm not worried about anything. Number 9 is inflation protection. You want to make sure you're outpacing inflation. Generally speaking, inflation goes up about 2 to 2.5% every year. I always say at least 3% to cover your odds. So most annuities are averaging, 6, 7, 8%. So your money's outpacing inflation. This is huge, because when all you folks who leave your money in the bank, even though your money's safe, you're safely going broke. If inflation is regularly 3%, your money's getting less than 1%, you're losing money. So it gives you that inflation protection, knowing that you're outpacing inflation. Any strategy you do, you need to make sure you have that. And then number 10, there's no contribution limits. This is huge with annuities. When you have your 401ks, in your IRAs, you have a certain amount. 401ks, you could put a certain amount in every year. IRAs, if you make too much money, you can't even qualify for them. But for annuities, you have no contribution limits. If you want to have, 100,000 you want to put in, 200,000 you want to put in, most annuities are lump sums. But some annuity companies have you have a year. You could put in as much money as you want for that first year. Some of them have annuities where, you could do it on a monthly basis. Very few. They may have riders, and a rider is something you have to pay additional, maybe a 1% rider fee to have these kind of options. So look into that. But folks, these are 10 great reasons. Like I said, I'm not going through the pros. I'm not going through the cons. Are there better things out there than annuities? Yes. Are there areas where you can make more money? Yes. Do you have surrender charges and fees for anything that happens in this account? Yes. Do you have to wait a certain amount of time to access these? Yes, they're regularly by contract. By a certain age, you have to understand it. There's going to be cons. There's going to be pros. This is not what the video is for. It's 10 great reasons why to have an annuity. And if you want more information, reach out to me. One of the things I specialize in is helping folks with annuities. And ladies and gents, just here dropping a few cents, and I'll see you on the next video.